Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. It's Monday night, and I just want to welcome all of you to our weekly Team Up gathering. And I am so excited tonight because we've got a very, very special guest. She's a precious friend. She's super busy, and yet she's carving out 30 minutes to be with us tonight. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Melissa Falco. Oh my gosh. She's an international marketing director with the Juice Plus company. She grew up in New York. She's lived in California and now lives in Eagle, Idaho with her husband and her two daughters. Her background is in special ed and educational psychology. And she has an absolute love of the brain and helping. She knows how to break down difficult concepts so everybody can understand. And I have worked with her with the Healthy Living affiliates. And I'm going to tell you, there were times when I know she was like, okay, Terry, go to resource room because that's where you need to be, okay? But I love working with this woman. She's been with the Juice Plus company for 15 years, okay? And prior to this, hey guys, this girl had a very successful six-figure income with corporate America in high tech, okay? She wasn't looking for a business, but when she got on Juice Plus, she saw benefits to her health and her father's health, helping him through his cancer journey. And she said, yes, she jumped on, she jumped in. And I gotta tell you, she's never stopped. Okay, no matter what's happening in the world, Melissa Falco shows up with passion and purpose and delivers the Juice Plus message. And today her business is reflecting that. Melissa Falco, take it away, my love.
Terry, you're the best. And I just want to let you guys know, I mean, Terry has been such an incredible resource to me. So many of you on here are my friends. So I'm excited to be here with you. But Terry, you know, besides the friendship, she has poured into me in ways that she doesn't even know how powerful they've impacted me. And the most important thing I think that anybody ever did for me was when I was at the LA boot camp one year, and I was just kind of coming up in the business, and she took us through a closing exercise of visualizing the call of when we got that NMD call. And let me tell you that that moment and that vision that she gave me that day, that gift, which she didn't even know me at the time, carried me through all the rough spots and all the dips. And the times when I wanted to quit, I sat in my prayer chair and cried my eyes out, and I just visualized that one thing. So you guys are so lucky to be in the leadership of Terry Luongo. So thank you, Terry, for having me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick here and try to pull this up. I do it through Canva, so it's a little clunky on the transfer, but I think you'll like the images. They come out better when I do it this way. So, and I'm going to go right through here. So this is a presentation that I did recently at, you guys see that okay? Yeah, okay. At the Orange County Regional, and it was really a combination of 2 or 3 presentations coming together all at once. And if you're anything like me, who's been in this for 15 years, and even if you're the newest person, you know, we're really starting from zero, you guys. We're in a place in a time where we're rebranding, we're coming out and reemerging to the world as a new and updated identity. And the great part of that is we have this legacy of history and research and foundation behind us, so we can stand really strong and confident in our messaging. But how do you come out and start fresh and go new, right? And so this is just going to take you through what I've been doing, because I also recently moved to a new area. And in this new area, I'm going through the steps just like a brand new person would. There's no brand recognition out here in Boise area in Idaho. There were, I think, a total of 12 or 13 partners in the area and a total of 2 qualifiers in the entire state when I got here. So we are like right at the ground level, right? And so these are just some of the key points that I put up here. And I do this because I want you guys to think about what is it inside of your experience and the person that you are that could connect easily to other people. We all have our bullet points, right? So think about what are the things, and jot them down if they came to mind just when I asked that question. But these are the components, like you create bridges to people in conversation, and that comes through experience, right? So shared experience creates unity, and it creates trust and bond. And if you can identify which pillars you can stand on in your own experience, that'll really help you serve your population, because you're not only going to be able to connect to the newest people, but you'll recognize when you can't. And I think there's a great gift in that, because there's somebody on your team who can fill the gap of the experience that the person is looking to get to. So so here we are at the start line, right? And again, just fresh start. The best thing about this business, in my personal opinion, is that we get to restart any day we want. And we can let go of whatever was behind us. We get to choose day one. I think every 6 months, it's a really great exercise to just start and rebuild sales coordinator every 6 months. If you do that, you'll be a millionaire. Like, this business allows the flexibility for us to take those steps and redefine who we want to be. And we change over time through this experience, right? So I do not believe that anybody signs their application coming in to fail. And this is a big piece of it. I think not only do we start someplace, but we all join, even if someone's coming in just as an affiliate, to be successful in the experience that they're saying yes to. Would you agree? So let's keep that in mind. If somebody's coming into this experience and they just want a discount, let's help them be successful at getting that discount, right? If they come in with wanting some part-time income, we're going to help them be successful with achieving that number, whatever that number is. And if they're looking for more of a professional route, we're going to offer that to them too. And that's really the premise of what we're going to be talking about tonight. So again, I mentioned that the company's really in this new chapter. We've got this great new beginning, but it starts with us, right? So each one of us is a player in that. Corporate can do or not do all the things that they're going to, decide on. But the truth of the matter is, it's us. It's the army of people on the ground who carry Jay's legacy in our hearts and get out there and amplify that into the world every day. So we're the ones who get to show up. We're the ones who get to tell the story, and we're the ones that get to define our future. And don't ever forget that. Don't sit back and wait for them to make decisions. Let's just get out there and get into the field and start, creating those waves. So when we're meeting people and when we're building out new team members, and this is obviously geared towards active team members and people who are, active and showing up to this call tonight. But let's keep in mind, like, we have to help the newest individual. And I sign up a lot of affiliates that come in right off the bat who haven't even tried the customer experience yet. So my job is always to help connect them to the education that's going to inspire them, whatever that is. And usually the inspiration doesn't come from necessarily even their own experience. It's somebody in their life that can benefit. So be listening for that, be looking for that, and just be aware of the things that we offer, right, that can create some inspiration and utilize the resources that we've been given. So this is one of the firm beliefs that I think is essential for success. It's that Juice Plus is the most cost-effective way to consume this quantity of quality produce daily. That's it. If you walk through the door with that in your mind, price will never be an objection, ever, right? The cost of food is through the roof. And so if we truly understand the quality of the product that's in our hands and what we have to offer people, this is the most sensible decision they can make, especially for a big family. Do you hear me with that? So that's really what we want to plant in the minds of our people as they're starting out, because that belief system will carry them through all of the ups and downs. This is what I put together for one of our presentations with corporate. And I've been sharing this lately because I think it's also important to recognize that as we share with people, what we share has to change a little bit. We have to get flexible enough with our individual message to make sure that we're connecting those people in the stages of life that they're in to the things that matter to them then, right? So it's not so much about a script or, memorizing your favorite video. It's not a one size fits all experience. And I take that with me everywhere I go, because when you have, when you're trying to get pregnant, the only thing you care about is trying to get pregnant, right? And when you have a high schooler, the only thing you can think about is God lets them keep them on the right track. How do we keep them? I'll leave some the other examples, but you get my drift, right? We want to make sure that we're really pouring into people in the stages and the places that they're at, because then it's meaningful to them. And that's what service is all about, right? So opportunity is everywhere all the time. And that is also something that we as leaders need to carry with us into the field. We absolutely have to see through those goggles. Like, you have to walk into a shopping market, a supermarket, and be able to say, there could be somebody, my next national marketing director could be walking around these aisles. Why don't I pick my head up and make eye contact and be friendly with people, right? Like, you never know where you're going to be, where you make those connections. They could be anywhere. Right. And so truly opportunity is everywhere all the time. And when people say that they start to run out of people to talk to, or they've talked to everybody, I remind them, I said, okay, I dare you to go and sit in an airport and count how many people walk by you in a matter of, 20 seconds or so, because it's endless, you guys. The people are everywhere. It's just about us being open and available to see the needs in others. Right. But there are going to be times when people say no. And this is important to recognize too. And why do they say no? I really think this is an important piece. There's a lot of people that get stuck in that. I talk to a lot of people, but they all say no. Okay, well, maybe you're asking, in the wrong space and time. Let's take a look at this. So the first one, that one of the major reasons is they don't want to say yes because they're not in a place to take anything else on. Have you ever been there? A little overwhelmed? Life is big right now, right? They're not pushing you off. Sometimes they're just really in that space. So how can you be of value to them in that moment? Maybe just be a good friend, be a good listener, offer some support, whatever the thing is, right? Maybe it's not the right fit for them, or maybe the timing is a little bit off. Let's be open to the fact that that's reality, right? And it's not a personal thing. We can't take that personally. Maybe they just haven't been asked, because I think most of the time this is what happens. We have partners who go out and they talk to people a lot about their Juice Plus business, but they never actually ask them to step inside of it or to even take a look. So it just looks like we're talking about it, but we're not necessarily engaging with them in that space, right? And so that's one of the other reasons. But have they simply asked, right? So we try to get people to think about, like, how many people have you invited? That's the language we use on our team. And then here's the other thing, is that they don't have a clear picture. And that's what I want to talk about in the next couple of slides here, because building a clear picture for the vision of where we can go with this is critically important, you guys. And I think that this slide really has helped me build team, because it lets people off the hook on the first entry point. I just explained to them, hey, listen, not everybody's going to do this business like I do, right? I am definitely a professional. I am in love with this. I spend a lot of time and energy, and, I travel and I invest in my team. I treat this professionally because it's given me so much and because I built it to that space. But 85% of people are going to come in just wanting a discount. And it's okay if you're one of those people. I'm going to help you get the best discount possible, right? And so then we talk about Partner Plus, and it's much more attractive when I frame it that way, right? Than if I, say, oh, and you could, by the way, get a discount or a bonus or something like that. So these people are really looking for a casual affiliation. What they're saying to you is that they don't want to put any teeth in it. They don't want to step into something that they're going to be required to do, or they don't want to let anybody down, right? Is usually the thing there. The part-timer, there will be 10% of people who are looking for some part-time income, and they kind of get the bug. They like it a little bit. Maybe they came in through the affiliate and they say, that was kind of easy. Can I do some more? And I'm working with a gal right now who just recently joined in. She said, she got the first one done. She said, that was so easy. I didn't even really do anything. I kind of feel guilty. I'm getting a paycheck. And then she said, so is it really possible to make like $1,600 in this business? And then all of a sudden it became real. Do you see that? Because I helped her get that first thing, and that built confidence into the next step. So now there's a conversation of the how-tos about the next place. But the key here is that if they're going to go in for the part-time, we want to help them find a buddy. And we want to do that quickly. So we need to responsibly step into their world and help them find that. Sometimes they'll bring it to you, but most of the time they won't. So going to their events, maybe their sporting events, their holiday parties, their world, where you can get in there and actually see through their eyes, you'll see opportunity before they will, because you're seasoned enough to, right? So that's important. And then on the right, we've got this professional piece, and it's really important that we let people know that that's available. I think too many people shy away from that. Not everybody is in this gig economy. I never would have said yes to this business. I never would have taken it seriously had I not seen Catherine Lee and Deanna Christofferson and Wendy Campbell, Kristen Schultz. Like, these women were walking the walk. They were standing up professionally. They were beautiful on stage. They delivered a message. They cared about people. There was something in there that resonated with me and gave me the vision to be able to see a future here. So that's important too, right? Don't ever discount the power of planting a seed. So you are a true leader when you help your team become successful. I think that's the greatest gift in this, is that our success is really a pay it forward process. So we get to learn something and share it and pay it forward. And that to me is the greatest. It's the light bulb moment. It's the thing that really got me excited about teaching and growing. This here is just something that I put together for my team, but it's important to take a look at, because, on this sheet of it, let's just say you get a builder and they do want to start to build. A lot of times they're going to get discouraged if they see that only one person, gets their Partner Plus, or 2 or 3 get it, but nobody gets to QSC right away, or whatever the thing is, right? We know their percentages kind of fall out in the end, and they kind of work themselves all the way up to the top, right? And so when you can put this on paper and just set expectation and recognize that you're not a failure because of that, it's just part of the process. And it's kind of a game to go and get as many Partner Plus promotions as you can, because the more you get of those, the more you're going to get QSCs, right? And the more QSCs you build, the more sales coordinators you're going to build, by nature of sheer numbers and percentages. And the kicker is that you're going to have fun doing it, because you're getting wins. They're little micro wins. And you're building momentum. So everybody around you is seeing that this is okay. Like we can build all these little pieces, those little pieces build into something big over time. Right. So, but it also creates vision. You can see that it's not just a 1 month or 2 month decision, but we really want people to last and to stay. Right. And there's a place for them to grow into the next couple of years. So I think this is an important piece, especially for builders. They want to be able to track what's going on. So this is the key. So when we're inviting people in, what they think we do versus what we actually do are two different things. And I think this is the biggest thing we have to overcome right now as partners in the industry, particularly in our company as affiliates, is we have to come in and teach people what it really looks like on the inside. Most of them don't see it until they get there, and we're losing percentages because we're not showing it up front. So I find it important, and I show people this when I'm inviting them. We do this business in lots of different ways. We're on social media, but you don't have to be. We lead group text messages and campaigns that way, so it's automated, or you don't have to. We have health plans and accountability groups through programs like the Shred 10. We have community gatherings where we make food together, we prepare food. We do meal preps. This is an educational event, but it was really this was my first launch event here in the Boise area. And you guys, like when I look around that table, every single person on that table, they didn't sign up that day, but all but one of them is on my team now. And that's because I was able to plant seeds, share a story, invite them into an experience, show them what this was all about. And they walked away with, and the girl who's not on my team is actually on Jeff Olson's team. So that's why. But the pumpkins, you see these, we built these. This was such a fun little event. I invited them, come build a pumpkin. You'll take it home as a centerpiece for Thanksgiving. What do you think happened at Thanksgiving? Pumpkin sits on their table. Everybody asks about it. They get to tell about Juice Plus, right? It was a nice little Trojan horse into their biggest family event of the year, right? But it gave them value too. And we just had a meal together and talked about whole food. I gave them the butternut recipe squash soup. You guys, all I do is put it in a blender. It's like super, super easy, right? But the point is that we're together and they got to see it. Team retreats is for things like people with the bigger vision. Maybe some moms want to get away, right? They want an opportunity to get away and be with girls and have some good weekends together. We do things like that, right? We have online events. You can work in your pajamas if you want to. You can travel if you want to. All these things are available to you and you get to choose is the key, right? So leadership gatherings, we've got some here where this was an all NMD meeting down in Southern California when Stuart first came out into the field. It was the first meeting she had. And for her to be face-to-face with us in the backyard, that was critical, for us and for her, and to be able to know that we have such accessibility to leadership as a professional, that's really important for me to know, right? And we hang out with world famous doctors. If I'm talking to, a medical professional, that's going to be important to them. They want to know that there's a reputation behind the medical community that aligns with us, right? So, again, like thinking about where that person is, what is of value to them, and introducing them to that through pictures, through experience, through social media. You can tell a story on social media that kind of points to this, right? I put this in here. Stephanie was with me on this trip, and this was such a great, it was a great experience for all of us. But here's Janet Black, who was our VP at the time, driving the bus. I can't talk about servant-hearted leadership, like she was the taxi driver. Like, come on, right? When we think about these things, like that's the company we keep, right? So we also have fun. It's important for them to see that, right? Because not everybody wants to sign up to do more work because there's a lot of work to be done out there. But there's a lot of things that we can do that's enjoyable and it's exciting. And they're going to want to see those things too. I love this picture over here, and I include this because in corporate America, I was not allowed to pray in what I did. I couldn't do it in teaching either. I had to leave God at home. But here, I can bring my beliefs, I can bring myself, I can bring my whole self to work every day. And that for me is freedom, like true freedom, right? And it's respect too. So I want to give people the freedom to do that as well. We also have fun. This was a really funny white elephant gift where they were literally swapping and stealing from each other, and they almost tackled another and fell down, but that kind of speaks to the slide that's on the right here, which is that we can all say yes to the experience, but your level of engagement is going to dictate your level of fun, right? You can sit in the third row and come along for the ride, or you can jump in the front and figure it out, and it's a blast, right? So our job is super simple. We eat and we share, right? That's what we do with Juice Plus. We embrace the products, the company, and we share the information and invite them to take a look, right? Into order. So the third thing we do is inspiring. And that's really where the inspiration and the leadership comes. Back in the day, there was a big jump between sales coordinator and senior sales. And I always said, It's really when we get out of our head and into our heart. That was a Wendy Campbell quote, right? It's about getting out of what we want to manage and run and organize, and into the space of how can I serve the people that are in front of me and help them achieve what they want to see, to do. And that's really kind of the biggest step there. And we can't force anybody to hear the message, right? Especially if they're not ready to receive it. But we absolutely never underestimate the power of planting a seed, just like Terry did in me, right? So the goal here is to grow with us. We start with prospect. We build them to a customer. We want them to have an authentic experience. I call this the VIP member. When they step a little bit further in, they have more teeth in the game. Maybe they come to some doctor's talks. They've listened to some videos. They get the education. They might refer some people every once in a while to you. Then the affiliate is where they can start sharing themselves, right? That's where they can step over on that line and start earning a bit of a paycheck and a discount. The part-time, obviously, we went through, and then the professional is there for them too. And this just kind of breaks it down. I don't have too much time to go into this altogether, but it just delineates the difference, right? Everybody's going to do the same thing by eating and sharing, and they're going to pay their $52. But beyond that, it changes a little bit, right? The first level of affiliates, they're just going to earn some sales profit, and they're going to be eligible for commissions and bonuses, but they don't necessarily want those things. That's not why they're there. We're just going to help guide them to whatever makes the most sense for their discount and what they're ordering. The part-time partner, though, this is a little different. They're going to access some online tools and training. They're going to do a little bit more. They're going to step into the experience a little bit more. And so we're going to present a little bit more. Does that make sense? You don't want to overload the affiliate in the beginning with too much, because you've seen those people shut off and run for the hills, right? You want to adjust your approach to the people that are coming in, again, and match what they want, okay? And then the goal in the part-time piece too is really to guide them to a qualified business, which is why we talk about the 20 to 40 customers. Okay, so that's just for you guys to know. But then the professional experience, we really need to lean into the fact that we get insurance. You guys, my husband he was an executive with IBM making a lot of money, and he lost his job in October. And we've been out of work since on that side of things, right? But thank God for this business, because this has given us health insurance. It's given us the ability to carry afloat and keep going and doing some other things. I mean, we counted on that big time, but having built this and made those positive deposits into our life really showed up when we needed it. So this number should be imprinted on everybody's head. And if I was in a crowd with you and we had more time, I'd quiz you on it. But this is the number of bonus money available to us. Hello. Okay. So if somebody says, can you really make money in that business? Yes, you can. There is real money, and it's ready. They're ready to give it to you. They're finding ways to give it to you more often. Okay, so here's how it breaks down. And this is kind of the startup process as we go through. I wanted to put it in a way that the newest person could jump in, see 3 things to do, and check them off and move on, right? So we're going to place their own personal order. We're going to list that in the purple column over here, whatever they order. And we always encourage them to order as much as they want to. Then number 2, usually a spouse or somebody else in the household, right, is going to order something too. And then number 3. And so we're going to list the person and what they ordered right in this space. We're going to total it up to 900 points, celebrate them and promote them. And I have been signing people up with 2 quads and an order of shakes. And that's an easy yes. The numbers seem to sit well in their brain, and it gets them the $100 back, which makes them feel good. So if you're looking for kind of the formula, that's the one that we're using. And then this is where, we build some vision, right? So now that they've done that, we want to help them understand. So if we're looking for that best recurring, way to get a discount, this is kind of the way to do it. So 6 recurring trio orders will cover the cost of your quad for the year. And this is as we build, obviously, their income a little bit, but the goal of this is just to get them to build vision to see that they can actually just share a little bit and still get a good benefit, right? And so showing that they've already done part of it helps them have confidence to do the rest of it. People also don't like to leave things open, like open loop situations. They want to finish it. So if you show that it's already started, it's hard for them to be like, oh, I don't want to do 4, 5, and 6, right? It's like, well, I guess I'll just do 4, 5, and 6, and then we'll get that done, right? And that's what we're seeing is people will take steps to kind of check it off the list, right? And so then we say, well, here's the deal. So it might just be really easy to get a couple of friends together, okay? And I like to do it this way. Tell me if this is okay with you, right? But I like to set up 3 events in 30 days. We do it around a weekend. We have some super fun. You clean your house once. And we just name the event, and we tell people when we're inviting them, hey, we're going to have 3 events come up. Let me explain what they are, and you tell me which one makes sense to you, right? Which is most attractive to you. And that way you are guiding the person to the time and the place and the event that they want to get to. So maybe it's a sourdough workshop, a salad and jar party, and a wine event. Those are 3 very different events, but that people would want to say yes to and step into. And then as we start to build and they've got their 6 customers, and now we're kind of looking at, well, if we just get over to 12, now we're closer to that 3,600 points situation. And that gets you the QSC promotion. Do we want to go for that? And most people are leaning into a yes, because they've had some success, they've had some fun, they're learning a little bit as they go, and it's making more sense to them, right? So we're going to start here and we're going to teach some customer care. This is where we make it not about the order, we make it about the person, right? So we're going to lean into the fact that Susie down the street signed up and her son has asthma, right? And then we're going to put that health goal in there, and we're going to help support this individual with the resources that can help support their friend. This is where the learning happens. So this is kind of the meat of it, is right here in the space, right? Okay, and this is also the same time where we're going to circle back around and build that Juice Plus, that comfort level, the confidence level, the product information, that all happens here, okay? Important to keep that in mind. And then here is just, it's kind of a fun step from here. So then we get to a place where we're like, okay, well, do we want to take that next step? Are we looking for a space? We got a bonus that was kind of fun. How about we build you a stable check? Is that something that you would benefit from, right? And we can do that in the time frame that they want to, but we want to build them up to a qualified business, okay? So you can see how this is just building blocks and it's layers. I don't give it all to them at first. I just give them one step at a time, right? And this is really where we start to build the big vision, which is $75 is going to get paid out on every trio order, right? Here's what it could look like for you. So this brings them into that whole vision of sales coordinator, because for me, I just knew, why leave money on the table? If I'm going to go through the effort of doing the work, it just makes sense to step all the way in, right? And I'll give you guys a copy of this so you can take that, use that later. So in that space, then we start to look at friends. We start to look at team. We help them identify a buddy. And I like to start with 3 people on a team. It creates a nice number of 4, the leader and then 3 underneath them. And we take some steps together. We help to build some partner pluses. We build a little confidence. They have the same questions. It's much easier to coach them in a group than it is individually all over the place, right? So we just create Voxer chats for 4 people at a time. And we also show them, just like the invitations to the parties, like, you can invite 10 people, but how many people did you actually invite? Remember that question in the beginning, did you actually invite to take a step? And how many of them actually signed up? Because it's going to help you understand, like, you have to have a lot of conversations if you want to take these next steps, right? And every time you have the conversation, you get better. So this is where they always say, this is the pause that they make, and they go, okay, but this all makes sense to me, but I'm not you, Melissa, And what they're judging me on is I have 15 years in the business and a lot of no's behind me, So they don't have to be a purple caterpillar to show up and do this business. They get to show up as them, and they get to show up as them authentically and do it right and do it the way they want to. And we're going to help them be successful every step of the way. And we just have that discussion right there because it's so important. I have always had the philosophy that you build a team around your weaknesses. So I take an inventory, again, in the list in the beginning, I take an inventory of myself of where I shine, and I fill in the gaps of where I don't, because it helps me be more well-rounded. It helps the team come together better, and everybody wins that way, right? But ultimately, there's that person on the other side of taking on this challenge that is going to thank them, right? That's going to thank them later on for having said yes. So again, just reminding them how simple the business is. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just a lot of the same thing over and over again, but it gets more interesting with each person because each person's needs are different, and you learn every time you share. So the true joy of this comes from when we inspire, encourage, and guide someone else down a path that benefits him or her. And that is really what it's all about. I learned at a certain point in time that my goals could only carry me so far, but once I really took time and sunk into the lives of the people on my team, that's where this business came alive, right? And this is the last slide here, but you guys, we get to make our own path. We get to make it as easy or as hard as we want to. And all of that's on you. So just make the decision. If it's what you want, then put that line in the sand. Reach out to Terry or your upline support team, like make a plan, and then look at it and understand that there are people that want what we have. There is opportunity everywhere, right? And it's just up to us to clear out those glasses and those goggles and take a look and go out there and really make a difference in the world. So I hope this is helpful. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for having me.
Melissa, oh my gosh. I can't thank you enough. Everybody, please unmute yourselves because she's jumping off. She's got another call she's going to. Melissa, oh my God.
Thank
Thank
you,
everybody.
Thank you so much. It's
Brilliant.
really
Brilliant.
meaningful. Brilliant. It was really great.
You're
Appreciate
the
you guys
best.
so much. Thank you.
I
Reach out
love
with
you,
questions.
Melissa
I'm sorry I
Falco.
can't stay longer.
That's okay. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be visiting with you, honey. Thanks. All right. Hey, everybody. Wasn't that, anybody want to unmute themselves? Any takeaways that you want to share? No wonder her business is exploding, huh? Yeah.
She was great. Thank you so much for having her.
Well, thank you. I'm glad. And know that we live stream this on the Team Up Facebook page, so you can always go back and watch again. Plus, it's recorded. So if you want the recording of it, let us know. Okay. Okay, my friends. Have a great evening. Know I love and appreciate every single one of you. See you next Monday night. Okay. Peace and blessings. Take care.
Bye.